Welcome to Queen City Cyber Consulting's channel.
Welcome back, Queen City Cyber Consulting followers and seekers of truth. Welcome to Maryland. Maryland faces a digital paradox. Yes, a digital paradox. A conundrum faces us. Governor Wes Moore has come out and said that Maryland is going to lead in the AI development and implementation on a statewide basis. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say it that way because that's not how he talks. But anyway, the push is out there. And having been in the cybersecurity field now for 20 plus years and watching the news and doing threat intelligence for 10 to 15 years, I saw the paradox and it struck me as something that we really need to talk about because the push for AI is just everywhere now. Its tentacles are delving into everything, and state government is no different than any commercial entity other than the state government isn't run as well as a private business, but that's a topic for a separate channel, not this one. So, what I wanted to do, and I'm not anti AI. I think AI is going to be useful and good. I use it every day myself, but there's a lack of understanding of what AI is, how it works, what it can do, its history, things like that. And I think that's what politicians are missing here. They're missing the fact that there are still problems with AI that need to be worked out. So Wes Moore has come out. He's got this grand vision that we're going to position the state of Maryland as a national front runner in public sector artificial intelligence. Ooh, jump on the bandwagon, folks. Pump your fist in the air and say, I just don't care. The question becomes, how are we going to do this at a state level with state government? Because there are issues that are already in existence that have not been dealt with yet. And that's a problem. So, what are we seeing? Well, he issued out the 2024 AI executive order, which established his so called AI subcabinet and the Maryland Digital Service, which was set up to direct different state agencies toward a rapid, ethical AI adoption and governance standardizations. The rapid and the ethical just are antithetical terms to each other. You can't do it rapidly and still remain ethical. You're going to have to skip steps if you try to do it too fast. There has to be a middle ground here. And alongside of this, they did set up the Department of IT's controlled AI Innovation Lab sandbox, which, according to the state, set up AI red teaming services and strategic partnerships with companies like Anthropic to build out these agentic workflows to help with fleet and benefits management. Now, that worries me. I know how AI works. I've dealt with AI now for a while. Putting AI into just say the benefits management program without proper vetting and testing, despite what they're doing, worries me. And even fleet management is worrisome. I mean, okay, so we're partnering with Anthropic. Well, does anyone remember what happened just back in July 2026? When Anthropic conducted a retrospective audit across all, well, more than 100,000 internal evaluation runs, it showed that autonomous Claude models, which is Anthropic's AI model, had breached real world production systems belonging to 3 separate organizations during a simulated capture the flag security exercise. Stop and think about that for a minute. Just stop and think about it for a minute. Uh, it, that's bad. It's just bad. Now, Anthropic and Claude do some good things well. The question I'm going to have here is, who did the state of Maryland hire to perform a security testing and red teaming services against these AI models and against the agents that they're building and putting out there, the agentic workflows? What's their experience with AI? I never saw any advertisements for it myself. Who are these people? What are their backgrounds? What are their experience? What are their capabilities? Are they really testing these systems? Or is it going to be the old state of Maryland way of, well, we tested it, let's just throw it out there? And you'll see why I say that here in just a minute, because the state of Maryland does not have the best technical roadmap. Now, of course, Governor Moore's administration promises AI delivering faster, smarter public services. Well, we've heard that from beginning to end. It's going to tackle poverty. It's going to tackle housing. It's going to rein in fleet cost for the state. Well, I don't know. Let's see. They did get some grants for this, about 2.6 million plus, in both federal and civic AI grants to help streamline work verifications in the SNAP and Medicaid arena. And again, I have to ask the question there, how are those being vetted? Who's writing them? What's going on here? It's worrisome. It's worrisome to me. The mandates that Moore has put out say that there has to be strict intake evaluations and AI red teaming. Again, those questions come up again. Who's doing the red teaming? If you don't know what a red team is, they're a penetration testing team. They're defensive security actors who work to help protect systems. So the questions remain. Now, looking at the reality of the past and the precedent that's been set by the state of Maryland, what do we have? Well, a lot of citizen dissatisfaction with what's going on online, a lot of system outages, just to be blunt. Different websites just down without explanation for days, can't access what you need to. You get these portals that the state sets up that nobody can get to. Or once they get to them, they're non-responsive. And then there's major cybersecurity vulnerability handling involved in all this as well. Beacon, which is the Department of Labor's unemployment site, crashed at one point during peak need. And those that were trying to file unemployment claims or update their information could not do anything. They were just trapped in timeouts. And there was zero zip automated recovery options. Some information was just lost. No fault of the end user, all the fault of the Maryland Department of IT that runs the Beacon website. The MVA, the Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration, is horrendous when it comes to bottlenecks in scheduling. Mobile access, pretty much non-existent in the state of Maryland, even in the 21st century now, when most people use their phones for nearly everything. Very few people are using laptops and computers anymore for this kind of activity. They're using their phones. The state of Maryland's not kept up with that angle of it. There's some compliance issues in there, all kinds of things that's going on with it. And there's just no response. None. I went through this not long ago myself, working through Beacon and trying to submit help tickets. Could not get one submitted. Ended up having to call the number, sit on hold for an hour and a half before I get a human being on the phone who all they could tell me was, yes, the system is down. It should be up sometime tomorrow. Check back in then. That was the answer I got. You're just stranded. And when you make those phone calls, like I said, I waited an hour and a half at one point just to get a human being on the phone to be able to not answer a question that I had. So this is the history of Maryland's IT. Does it bode well for the implementation of AI? I think not. I think not. In 2021, which is only 5 years ago, the Maryland Department of Health had a ransomware attack that forced all of their systems offline for 3 and more weeks. 3 and more weeks, 3+ weeks. They were offline. That's really unacceptable. Okay, ransomware is bad. The response, well, then you get left with the question, well, what was the response? Did they even have backups? Were they able to? I've worked multiple ransomware cases. We usually got people back up 3, 4 days. At least kept the business running. Here it was down for 3+ weeks. um, it just creates questions in a professional's mind like mine. And I do consider myself a professional. I don't consider myself an expert, but I do consider myself a professional. The cybersecurity audit record, the Department of IT Central, what did they find when they audited them? Well, they were sharing admin credentials internally. Wait, what? Yes, you saw that right. They had unpatched software. They had weak access controls. This is the Department of IT that's in charge of implementing AI in the state systems. The systemic vulnerability across decentralized state networks. I'm not even going to get into that one. Department of Health. Department of Health. Unencrypted network segments. Didn't have baseline cybersecurity controls in place. And at one point, it ended up with a month-long paralysis of critical healthcare services via the Department of Health. That's great looking. The Department of Labor, inadequate stress testing on legacy mainframes during high traffic. So, of course, you ended up with dropped traffic, which ended up with dropped claims and account lockouts for thousands of end users. And municipal portals, the cities within the state, all have decentralized security. They have legacy infrastructure, and believe you me, I'm aware of that. They have water billing, real estate, 911 dispatch freezes and interruptions. And this is the state that's going to lead the way in the implementation of AI. Does this not make you stop and ask questions and ponder the reality of it? So what do we have? Well, we've got the AI ambition. It's there. I mean, Governor Moore came right out and said it. They're setting up these supposedly sophisticated LLM. Do you know what an LLM is? Large language model sandboxes. They want automated fleet management, predictive benefit verification, and partnerships with top tier AI labs. Those same labs that suffered the breakouts that hacked separate system. Remember that with Anthropic? Yeah. And what's a digital foundation? Well, there's a big doubt layer there. There's unpatched mainframes within the network. I couldn't even begin to tell you about that. Fragmented agency websites that are just scattered all over the place. Nobody's managing them, governing them. The support channels, it's like an echo chamber. There's just no response in many of them. And these ongoing cyber audits are just constantly harping on the same. I mean, shared admin credentials in the 21st century? Come on, man. And that's where the state of Maryland is. Despite their ambition for AI, they need to fix this first before even thinking about AI. That's it. That's where we are. There's a big disparity between public relations momentum around AI and resident satisfaction. In other words, you get all this PR focus on AI, like Governor Moore coming out and saying, oh, Maryland's going to take the lead. Okay, great. Well, you don't have portal mobility usage yet. In other words, you can't use your phones and your iPads and your tablets for this kind of work. Your customer help desk response is terrible. You've got cyber incident transparency issues, and not included in this little chart are those audits that were done that highlighted all the disparities in just basic cybersecurity hygiene, even without AI being involved. But we're being told that Maryland's going to lead the way on AI when they're failing in everything else. That's not how you promote advancement. So, what do we need to realign here? Well, they better stabilize their core operating systems before layering AI into it. Their web portals, and there's a ton of them out there, need to operate seamlessly between mobile devices and computers. They need to have modern accessibility standards in place, even before considering putting chatbots in there. They need OLA security baselines. These audit deficiencies across all the agency subdomains, those systems on which this is going to be put on top of are already faulty and vulnerable. You're not even don't even need to consider the AI model on this. All you need to do is attack those legacy infrastructures, and that'll get you to the AI. And then you're off to the races, folks. That's how it works. And human failbacks or fallbacks. Where are the help desks? Waiting an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to a person for a call, for a help call, is ridiculous, but yet it's standard across Maryland's operating procedures. Even setting up automated AI decision pipelines, I mean, how are they going to build those out? You need the input to build the AI out. In other words, you need to put into the AI what the plan is for answering questions in the first place. They don't have that. They don't have that initial step even, because you can't get to anybody. They don't have playbooks. They don't have roles. They don't have operating procedures. Or at least if they do, you never get to see them because you never get to talk to a human being. They need to fix all of that before they even start thinking about patching AI into these systems. I mean, in my dad's era, duct tape and spit did a lot to help fix problems. If duct tape couldn't fix it, you put super glue on it. One way or the other, you'd get it fixed. That's not how AI works. Unfortunately, it seems that many in the tech community think it is because they don't understand AI. This is something that needs to be talked about. Now, this week in my own local community, we are going to get the opportunity to meet with some Maryland representatives that are pushing for data centers and AI. And believe you me, my questions are going to be prepped and ready. And yours need to be too whenever this topic comes up. Don't buy the propaganda. Don't buy the smiling, bobble-headed faces. Look into it. Look into the history of IT before AI. If there's problems with IT before AI, AI is going to make those problems worse. That's the base truth. You've got to fix the foundation before you build the house. We're not doing that, and that needs to be done. This is Queen City Cyber Consulting signing off. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to comment on this video, share your thoughts. If you're in another state, tell me what's going on there. Let's share. Let's get this information out there so that the voices, the people who actually work in the field, can have a voice in the public implementation of it, instead of just the bureaucrats and the politicians. Thank you. Have a good day. Go forth and conquer.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.